Thank you for coming here today. You're at the State of AI for Growth during LA Tech Week. We'll separate the signal from the noise. All right. I'm Hamlet Azarian, a lifelong learner focused on growth. I've been doing growth marketing for a little over, 24 or so plus years. A little bit about our overall ecosystem. You are joining us today at one of our Growth Lab webinar series, and we do this typically on a monthly basis where we showcase some of the different things happening within our agency and with some of the learnings we've had, and we share it with the rest of the community. We also have a podcast where we interview different founders and leaders in our Growth Ventures podcast. We take their learnings and their experience and share it overall with the community as well. We have an academy where we have different cohorts. Our first cohort had close to 400 applicants for both on startups as well as founders, where they apply to be part of the program. We put different teams together and of growth marketers that would work directly with the startups themselves and run a 2-month boot camp where they would be running different experimentations for the startups, totally free. We funded this through the profits of the agency, covering both providing scholarships for the students that were applying. These are typically graduate students and as well as the startups themselves. And then finally, we have the agency. So a little bit about our Growth Lab webinar series, which is what you've joined today. We've done different one of these, some of the more interesting ones that if you like this one and this topic as a whole, I would highly recommend you checking out our SEO evolution one, where we went through some of the Google patents and we discussed how AI is impacting it and how to be able to be part of the AI overview section. Here we talked about content marketing and how AI has announced content production for ourselves and our clients within our agency. We showcase how we do that and so on and so forth. Each one of these has bits of AI within it, so you can easily see how the different utilities and how we're utilizing it within our agency as well. What we'll cover overall today is a general overview of AI investment trends, what's happening overall and where venture capital funding is going. We'll showcase a generative AI trend map, current AI trends in growth marketing, overall the role of AI in growth marketing, and then to the more exciting part, which I know why most of you are here, is different tools. We'll highlight them, how we're actually utilizing them, and what are the different use cases that they have. And then lastly, we'll get into the new trending topic, Agentic AI in growth marketing as well. And then we'll open it up for questions and answer. So some housekeeping before we get started. If there's any things that I'm talking about, or if you have any questions, feel free to add it in the chat. We will get to all questions towards the end, and we'll make sure we leave enough time. So generative AI's impact overall. So this is a report by McKinsey that I want to highlight here. As you can see, that 2.6 trillion to 4.4 trillion annually across 63 use cases. That is the prediction that they're making. Some of the economic impact it would have overall. Where it's going to help a lot is in tax automation. They can see that AI can automate 60 to 70% of tasks, significantly increasing productivity across multiple sectors. Some of the sectors that they see having a huge impact are as banking, tech, life science, and retail are really positioned for massive value creation. And then some of the overall challenges that they highlighted in their report was, of course, everyone has to learn how to reskill themselves and be able to utilize AI and also minimize the risks associated with it. So 1 second. So AI investment trends as a group. So overall VC funding here in 21, you can see there was well over 150 billion or so funding happening on a quarterly basis. It had dropped off significantly, but this past quarter, Q2, we had finally seen a growth, quarter over quarter change of 16% and a year over year change of 12%. So if you compare Q2 24 to Q3, there was a growth of 12%. And if you compare Q1 to Q2, there was a growth of 16%. And then if you dig a little bit deeper into that, where the investment overall, particularly related to AI went, you can see a huge spike up here in growth of the number of deals done, as well as the total funding for AI as a whole. That's where most of the capital has actually been raised in regards to this. Okay. So $5 out of $6 billion of funding rounds have also come in Q2. Some notable ones were Elon Musk's XAI for $6 billion. CoreWeave raised $1.1 billion, and then Wave, Scale, and Zyra also became unicorns as well. This is a graph from McKinsey as well. This shows the overall AI adoption and how much significantly it's gone up, right? So AI adoption has jumped up to 72% from 50% in previous years. So more than 2/3 of responses in this survey and every region report AI use within their organization. In previous years, AI adoption was close to below that at 66% at any given region. So how should I apply AI in marketing? This Gartner report does a great job of breaking it down into different key areas and applications. So as you can see here, there's audio visual, there's programming and data assets, there's natural language, and then finally designs and the sub use cases within each one of them. And then there are drivers that are pushing forward some of the AI adoption. And then there's also barriers within any given organization that you should be aware of. Some of it is content demands of personalization is one of the drivers, as AI does a terrific job of this. There's also breakthroughs and democratization, diversity of touch points, formats, and contacts, demand for synthetic data and enhanced creativity, as it serves as a great tool to be able to get over brainstorming ideas or coming up with new ideas and so on and so forth. Some of the barriers as a whole and some of the bigger ones are hidden bias, right? So there's bias within the models that you need to be aware of. So there's some fine tuning that needs to occur, and there needs to be human oversight still. In general, there is mounting ethical and regulatory concerns of who owns what and where the laws are of all of this are going to stand. In larger organizations, there is review and approval bottlenecks that take some time for things to be implemented. There is general limited expertise and trust in AI. It is really new, right? If you think about when OpenAI released their models, we're talking about 4 years. So people are still learning what the capabilities are and the advancement of the models at the speed that they're growing and what they're able to do. It's constantly changing, and there's new applications arising because of that. And overall, where the global workforce as we have, and what are the best ways to be automating. So these are some of the general barriers. So this Gartner report also got into what we really liked is an incredible way of being able to get an organization, especially large enterprises, to be able to adopt it is this framework that they put together, which it goes down from top to bottom. It talks about use cases. So what is the right formula to be able to introduce AI is you need to know what other use cases that you can do and what is the quickest time to value. So what is a use case that you can take, you can implement, you can simplify it, and you can start showing significant value for the users themselves so they can start seeing how AI can make a big impact. The next is the skills. So does the team members know how to properly prompt? Do they know how to properly use the tools? Are they aware of the limitations, and how do you go about training them? This is obviously implementations in large enterprises. Next is the data. So what type of data is available that can allow you to fine tune the models, that can allow you to super personalize it so it's not such a general information and it's much more practical within the organization. The technology itself. What do they have? The advancement of all the different tools, and we'll get into it's relatively easy to be able to connect both on-premise data or internal organization data with some of the LLM models, and also to do it properly so you're safeguarding the organization's data. And then last, obviously, is the organization as a whole, where you can quickly show some POCs really fast within the organization so they can see the utility in the use cases, so then there'll be further adoption within the company. So what we did is we looked at over 1,500 companies. We've actually highlighted this on a section on our website. If you go into our resource section, so if you go to azariangrowthagency.com, and you go to our resource section as a whole, you'll see a bunch of AI tools that we've gone through. These are companies that a total have raised $52 billion. We are consistently and continuously reviewing some of these tools, seeing what their utilities are in the application layer. And we're going to highlight some of the companies that we are using A, internally, and B, that we see incredible use case compared to its peers, and why we think you can utilize them. Before we do that, so this is just out of that money that was raised, this is where the funding itself is going. Most of it is going to the model layer, right? So this is going to OpenAI, Anthropic, Gemini, and so on and so forth. These are the model layers, as most of you know, the overall infrastructure, right? So then after that, the augmented reality gets 4.2 billion, and then it falls into the app layer, which is what we're going to talk about a lot today, which is roughly 720 or so, and then the cloud computing, generative AI, and content itself. So Base 10 did a really good venture landscape, which we're highlighting here. It shows all the different utilities that we've been talking about, from text and writing, image, audio, video, ML apps, and data and decisions. We're not going to get into each one of these, but we want you guys to be aware of it. Within each, they've broken it out from code generation and documentation, customer support, general writing and content editing, marketing and sales copy, and text and data summation. What also has a bunch of tools within each one of these categories. So if you go to image editing, they break it down to editing, collateral, design, and text to image. If you go to audio and video, they break it down from editing, text to speech, music generation, summation, insights, avatars and dubbing, and video itself. And then if you go into data and decisions, they have it within creative organization, synthetic data, and vector and curation. Before we go on to the next session, we have another quick poll for you guys. Which type of AI tools are you most interested in learning more about? And then the second question is, what are the top growth marketing priorities for your organization the next 12 months? If you can complete that really quickly. Thank you. So let's get to the AI tool section. So one of the tools we want to highlight is called Quillbot. It has a total funding round of about $4.2 million. And what Quillbot is an AI-powered writing tool that assists with paraphrasing, grammar checking, content optimization. It's widely used across multiple industries, like content marketing, academic writing, and professional in general, being able to communicate. So think of it as Grammarly Plus. So how the AI utilization is done is it uses NLP to analyze and rephrase text while maintaining the original meaning. It also incorporates AI in grammar checking, summation, tone adjustments to optimize writing for various needs. Marketers can use Quillbot to create variations of sales pages is one example, or repurposing blog content. So if you have a blog article and you want to make it shorter for social, it's another example for it. And it ensures consistency in messaging across platform. It's also great for SEO purposes. It also has a language translation model within it. So you can easily take English, convert it to Spanish, or convert it to Russian, or whatever language you want to be able to switch it off to. So we've talked about the different use cases already, right? So from paraphrasing and rewriting, from content refinement, grammar, and clarity, and then also the benefits, anything from efficiency, content quality, customization, and scalability. Here's an example of one that we're showing within the tool, where we took one of our articles and then we're shortening it, and then we're able to, based off of that, be able to utilize it for other different things. So the next tool we want to highlight is called La Growth Machine. This is a relatively new tool in the sales stack. So if you're in business development, you're in sales, or you're doing any type of B2B enterprise sales, I highly recommend for you to check this tool out. It's probably the best in class. We've gone through a few of these tools. What they allow you to do is sync your user profile across multiple channels. So what it really, I'll give you the summation and then I'll explain the exact use cases. It's really AI-powered multi-channel sales automation tool. that it allows your company to streamline lead generation and outreach across platforms like LinkedIn, email, and Twitter. So you're able to connect the dots on the three. And it also integrates with a lot of popular CRMs. So it integrates with HubSpot and so on and so forth. So this allows you to pull the data within HubSpot and also sync back within it as well. So where the AI utilization comes in is it uses AI to generate customized messages for different channels. So you can have a different channel on a message for LinkedIn and have one for, let's say, as well as for email, or one for Twitter. And then it uses this magic messages feature, which leverages AI to draft personalized outreach messages in just a few minutes, saving you tons of time, enhancing communication. It also has a data enrichment component of it. So it's able to pull in the LinkedIn phone numbers if it's available, or the LinkedIn emails that the user created the account with, and be able to really give you additional data points that you can use to be able to use your outreach. So how our growth market is using this? Growth marketers are using this for being able to do outreach, for lead generations, sales enablement. They're also helping it for recruiting purposes to be able to expand your team, so giving HR teams a boost, and so on and so forth. So how it works, and you can see the kind of the video here while I talk through, it creates like a visual workflow overall for you. And then the visual workflow allows you to, sorry, it stopped playing while I was doing that. So the visual workflow allows you to create like different steps based off of different what ifs as well. You can also start doing AI generated messages. And one really cool feature is you can start doing voice messages as well. So this way you can do LinkedIn voice messages into their DM and into their Dropbox. So the next tool is Make. So what Make does is a no-code platform that allows businesses to automate different workflows by connecting various tools and systems. So it streamlines marketing tasks such as social media management. So if you want to be able to take sort of a YouTube video, transcribe it, then turn it into a blog article, and then take that and create a LinkedIn post, and then also create a different Twitter post, and then also take your YouTube video, which might have been shot in landscape, and re-edit it and do it in portrait. This is what Make will allow you to do. So it's really taking and automating a lot of those different elements. Eventually, it could also allow you to be able to post within your WordPress. So really streamlining a lot of the tasks that take time, and really enhancing you to be able to really take advantage of content repurposing strategies. For example, if we wanted to take this webinar and really start slicing it up, we can create different Make workflows to be able to do that. So it has a simple GUI that you can start creating all of these different workflows from it. I talked intensively about the social media management part of it. It also helps with lead processing and project management. The benefits is obviously are efficiency, data-driven insights, scalability, customization. You're able to do more. For agencies like us, we're able to set these up for our clients, and they're able to execute more content repurposing, content production with limited resources. So it really enables them to really get things done. The next one that we really like, it's another really cool tool. They've raised 52.9 so far. They're a Series B. They're further in the process, but what they do is they use AI-powered customer intelligence. They're an AI-powered customer intelligence platform that centralizes data from multiple channels. Okay, so you're able to pull in data from Reddit. You're able to pull in data from LinkedIn. You're able to pull in data from Twitter. You're able to pull, just think about every other social forums, different forums that it might be. And what you're able to do at the core of this is really listen to the interactions that people are having on different social channels. So your prospects per se, right? So you could start seeing how your prospect might be interacting with other people's posts that are related to overall what you are doing, or even what you are doing yourself. So this allows you to give you signals to be able to see, okay, who is in market and ready to buy, and where are they in that stage. And then this will then allow you to create different campaigns for them. So now you can become much more smarter on your cold outreach attempts to them. So it's no longer really cold because you have better visibility and you're able to time your messages based off of where they're at. So if they're at the consideration stage and they're evaluating different tools, that's the type of messaging that would resonate with them. If they're already further along, they're at the decision stage, then they're looking for a really striking, compelling offer and they're incredibly high intent. Or if they're at top of the funnel, they're just at the awareness stage, they need to be educated more. So then your messaging track becomes much more in line at where they are and overall their user journey. So how do they do this? What they call this is dark funnel intent signals. And by putting all of this in one central common room per se, you're able to see all of this at the contact level. It really allows for any type of B2B, ABM, enterprise sales strategy to have really significant insights. So then you can really be able to do specific outreach to them and really have custom-made marketing messages. The benefits obviously are increased efficiency, unified customer insights, improved sales and marketing alignment, and scalability. The next tool that we love is called Clay. Clay has raised 62 million Series B. They are incredible if used properly, right? So what Clay does is a data enrichment and AI-powered outreach platform that allows businesses to automate their lead generation and outreach campaigns. It consolidates over 75 sources of data, right, to be able to provide an incredible way of you taking any lead, enriching it, and being able to come up with a personalized message. So it really replaces the SDR. We believe this tool will kill the role of the SDR as we know it last year and evolve it into a much more technical role where it will allow you to really help your account executives to be able to get to very specific messaging that will resonate with your audiences. And the way they do this is you have to picture it, and I know it's hard in these graphs, but you have to picture it as a giant table, right? It could be an Airtable, or this is within the tool by itself, or Google Sheet or Airtable, but it's a tabular format. And you start creating data enrichment columns. Some of them are built in, and they use Clay credits to be able to do this. Others are you could tap into your own APIs, right? So you can tap into your OpenAI Playground API and you can have it read one of the columns and be able to do different interesting things with it. So you can have it read it and rank it and say, hey, this lead is most likely, what is it? And it could rank it for you and it could give you a percentage based off of the different information that is grabbed from 2 or 3 columns. At the tail end of it, what it really helps you do is start creating super personalized emails and messages. So then you can be able to do outreach. To let the cat out of the bag, some of you might be receiving some of our Clay messages at the end of this, and I'll be curious to see which one of you see it when it comes to you. The next one, which is incredibly cool as well, and it's relatively new, it's in beta stage, is Napkin AI. This is an AI-powered tool that transforms text into visually engaging diagrams. So like flow charts or infographics, it really simplifies the ability for your content team to take an article and start creating incredible visuals for it on social posts or within the article itself. It's really easy to use. You put a blurb of text in there, and through that, you're able to quickly be able to generate a PDF or even a JPEG or whatever variation of an image that you want, that you can start utilizing it on your blog, or you can get it to a point where then your design team can take over and enhance it with your brand colors and really make a nice, really image out of it. So how it utilizes AI as a whole is it's taking text inputs, it's auto-generating structured visual content from it, and it's able to interpret the information and come up with different recommendations of visual aids. And with that, you're able to customize it with colors and fonts and styles. So here's an example of one, right? So to the right, we took and we put just top reasons emails get marked as spam. It's one of the emails that we sent out recently. And what it does is it breaks it down into this pie chart, and then it does elements of this. Obviously, our design team would take this and then they would build off of it. It doesn't just do this one. It gives you quite a bit of different versions to select from, 30 to 40, I believe, and it depends on the information you're providing it. But it makes it really fast and quick for you to be able to pop up different visual presentations for your blog or for any PDF and so on and so forth. The next one is called Descript. I'm sure most of you have heard of this, or hopefully have heard of this. The last round it raised total 100 million, Series C. They're an all-in-one audio and video editing platform powered by AI, designed for content creators, marketers, and podcasters. And they really simplify the editing process by allowing users to edit video and audio as literally as they were editing text, right? So you see the transcription, you can go in, you can cut different things based off of the sentences you're saying. You can get rid of filler words, like all of those. You can do that with one simple keystroke. You can also make your eyes stay on the camera. So if you might be reading something, looking this way, when you use their feature, it will look like if you were staring directly at the camera. There's also voice dubbing. By reading a simple prompt, it learns your voice, your enunciation. So it allows your team to be able to quickly come in and fix different elements of what you might have said or you wanted to say and you actually didn't get an opportunity. And it will create that voice dubbing over it. They call that overdub. So what are some of the use cases? As we talked about, is the text to video editor element of it, the podcast editor, the AI speech generator. So those are some of the overall utilities. It's an incredible tool in the category, in the space. And if you haven't checked it out, we highly recommend it, especially if you do tons of video editing. So how AI is used in growth marketing? So if you really break it down, you can really talk about it really in 4 different areas, right? It allows with content assistant, which we went through in some of the tools here, and we'll show you exact case studies in a little bit from different utilities of it. It does with localization, so you can take it and translate it and have it be in different language. You can take English, make it in Russian. You can take English, make it in French. You can take English and make it in Mandarin. You can take English and make it in Spanish. It doesn't necessarily matter. You could now do that easily on text. You could also do it in video. It helps with ad optimization. So it allows you to be able to take tons of data, synthesize it, come up with new headlines, come up with new landing page copy, come up with descriptions, also be able to analyze quickly and see which campaigns are actually working. So there's a lot of different elements of this that are really happening. Some of the app platforms themselves have built it in already, right? The AI models that Google uses and Facebook uses, and we talk about a lot of these in our prior webinars, but different organizations that understand how to get good data in to be able to optimize and utilize it are seeing huge improvements on return on ad spend. And then there's this new wave of digital humans that are starting to come around, right? So these are clone deepfakes versions of yourself that you can create, or you can create a customer service bot that also does this. And we're going to show some of these different things. So here's an example that we utilized in Content Assistant for our design team. What our client was a jewelry line, and they really needed help. And we used this tool called Free Pick. And through their AI assistance, we were able to take the product jewelry images and without a photo shoot, have it come on different models. So now you can see the earring placed on different areas of the client. And this helped overall the product enhancement. Here's another example that I'll play really quickly is David Beckham doing localization.
Malaria isn't just any disease. It's the deadliest disease there's ever been.
Se dice que ha matado más de la mitad de la población que ha existido.
Period.
So you get the idea where that was using Synthesia. This is another tool called HeyGen. So with these tools, or tools of this caliber, like Synthesia and HeyGen, you're able to create deep fakes. This is a deep fake of me, of where you can really start speaking in any language. We think the world of language is going to be, we're living in an incredibly flat world now where things can be translated in real time. And we see this becoming a huge difference in overall every form of marketing and communication. So the next thing is, here's a case study that I want to highlight. This was done from Mark Pritchard at Procter & Gamble, where this was done in Marketing Dive is where we got this case study from, where they talked about two different utilities. One on the left is Pampers, where they started creating smart audiences based off of first-party data. And the way they did that is they created some tools on their website that allowed families to be able to come in and they were able to collect data off of it, right? So they were able to understand when the baby was going to be born, what gender the baby was going to be, what are some potential names, and so on and so forth. And then they were able to use that to start creating very specific customer segments and be able to target the right product at the right time to the right family to be able to see an improvement overall. What this generated was they saw an increase of 10% in US sales on Pampers and a substantial improvement on their return on investment, as they were able to go away from much more brand awareness campaigns to much more data-driven insights and data-driven campaigns and performance campaigns. Another one was in Tide. They did something very similar. On the Tide side, obviously, it's a much larger, broader base that they're going to, but they created a system that allowed them to be able to manage the media buys across multiple platforms. So this included from streaming platforms to TV to Google and Facebook. And because of this, using the in-house data that they had, they were able to improve overall return on ad spend as well. So these two different strategies show how you can take internal data and really start affecting your media buying components of it. And we do this a lot with our clients, where we utilize the data that they have plus the capabilities of the platforms, and we're able to improve overall their ad spend and return on ad spend. The next one here is done by Deutsche Telekom, where they created a Selena, and let me play it for you, and I guess you would understand it. It's a visual avatar that they're using for one of their customers.
So this is actually our website in development right now. It'll go live in October. And it is a digital human that resides on our website that allows residents to connect to the website. She'll come up and ask what services you need access to. We do it in text for those that are hearing challenged. And then you just ask a question. We worked with Unique, who actually said, hey, I have this crazy idea. What if we use generative AI on our website and made that an interface into services? So instead of having to know English or typing, you could just have a conversation and get access to information and municipal services.
Hi, I'm Emma. I'm the city of Amarillo's first digital human built on generative AI, and I'm...
So as you can see, the technology is at the early phases of it, but it's allowing for you to have a much more personal experience. And even in that, where she might have been designed to speak in English, she knows all the languages. So if you actually start communicating with her in Spanish, she'll respond to you and be able to understand you. So this is the capabilities that these type of more digital avatars are providing. And what that video goes on to explain is how overall that they're seeing a higher engagement within their clientele, a higher satisfaction score, because they're getting the questions answered in real time. They obviously know that it's a digital avatar, but people are spending a longer time speaking to them, and they're even happier than being wait on hold for 30 minutes or 15 minutes and barely getting the question answered as what they were looking for. So the next thing we want to talk about is this new trend that's starting to occur, and it's phenomenal of where we're at now in regards to the capabilities that we have to be able to inject AI into any of our existing data. It could be on-premise or it could be in the cloud. It doesn't necessarily matter, but it's allowing our capabilities to be able to focus on different tasks that in the past were essential, but would take a while to do and might be repetitive. And this world of automation or agentic AI tools that are starting to emerge are really tackling this problem. And we see different ones that are emerging that we want to highlight that we feel are doing a great job and are showcasing what the potential can be of really having an AI agent be running some of the tasks that you no longer need to necessarily be worrying about. So before I do that, I want to talk about iPaaS and what this technology really is, right? So iPaaS stands for Integrated Platform as a Service. It enables data integration across an organization, irrespective of what you use to deploy it, right? So what I mean by that, the data can be in the cloud, the data can be on premise. It doesn't necessarily matter. These tools allow you to quickly have access to all these data parts. So you can pull different data components. So you can pull data from your internal, let's say, Redis database, and then you can have something in a cloud platform like HubSpot, and you can utilize both data sets to be able to then tap into one of the models, any one of them if you want, right? You can tap into Anthropic's cloud if you wanted to, or Google's Gemini or OpenAI as well, right? So it doesn't necessarily matter which model you're going to tap into. And you can utilize all the different data sets and start running prompting queries against that and starting to utilize that information. So these are the different iPaaS ecosystem out there. We've highlighted one tool that we really like. It's called N8N, which is an open source low code automation platform that allows users to build advanced AI workflows by integrating AI tools with 400 plus apps and services. It offers flexibility in creating dynamic, intelligent systems that can automate complex tasks, streamline data processing, optimize business workflows, all without the need of having an engineer, right? Like think about what you have gone away. You don't need no longer sort of a DevOps engineer. You no longer need a backend engineer integrating all of these. You don't need an ETL engineer to be able to integrate all these different pipelines. This is open source, totally available for you to be able to download and do on-premise if you choose to. And they also have an easy, get up and running on their cloud platform as well to start testing it out. So what does it have? It has pre-built nodes already in there, so you don't have to code this up. It gives you the flexibility of code if you have the capabilities of doing that, but it also has pre-built nodes already for you. So you can tap into the OpenAI, IBM's Watson, Google, and so on and so forth, as I mentioned earlier. It also supports LangChain, so enabling you to start chaining different LLM operations together. It can allow you to start creating interesting use cases, right? Some of the use cases are you can start automating web scraping, you can collect and enrich form leads. As the lead information comes in, you can start expanding it with other information. You can start doing multi-channel campaign orchestration, so you can start saying, hey, if a user interacts with me on Facebook, then I want this to happen I want this to be the next step of things that occur, right? So if they become a lead on Facebook, I want this email sequences to go out. I want this next batch of creatives for them to be able to see on Google, on YouTube, on Facebook. I want to move them from audience A to audience B, or just think through all the different workflows you can be doing. And on top of that, you can do that by enriching the data first. So it's not just the information that they filled out on the form, but it's based off of the information that you're able to pull on them. So I showed earlier tools like Common Room, where you're able to see their activities on social. So you're now able to connect the two dots, or you can start integrating within your CRM, start pulling the information as your sales team is collecting more real-time information. So all this is done with N8N. And the next one's called Adapt. So Adapt builds AI agents that are powerful, multimodal systems designed to automate complex tasks across various applications and workflows, right? They use AI to translate user intent into actions. The agents can interact with software. They can extract data from PDFs. They can update CRM systems. They can execute end-to-end workflows in environments like HubSpot and Salesforce. They leverage multimodal models and a custom acquisition layer to operate seamlessly across different web applications, making it highly adaptive and reliable, right? So some of the use cases are lead scoring and qualification, personalized follow-ups, and overall CRM integrations. Benefits are it's reliable, it's easy of use, flexibility, and scalability. So then there's this whole new other category that's starting to emerge. This is for the more tech savvy founders, product managers who are developing their own apps per se, right? So these are the best API generation software. And one of the ones that we've really highlighted for you guys to take a look at is called BuildShip. So what BuildShip is an AI powered low code platform that allows users to build back end workflows, right? So these are not front end workflows. So if you have a front end developer and you're building an app per se, and you want to start to build some interesting functionalities, you can now do that. You can use tools like BuildShip, and you can start really building quick back-end functionality that might be tapping into OpenAI, Stable Diffusion, Hugging Face, any of the different workflows or models that are out there. They have pre-built in nodes already, so you don't have to really program too extensively on it. It makes the whole process really seamless. They actually have an AI generation system in there where you can prompt exactly what you're trying to do, and it will build the node or build a workflow for you. And then you can test and optimize based off of it, right? So this is a much more technical tool. Product managers can utilize this within their own application, or they can start building apps based off of this tool itself. Another one is called Relevance AI. So what Relevance is, a multi-agent system, is a no-code platform designed to enable creation of intelligent, autonomous agents that work collaboratively to automate tasks and solve complex problems. It provides a powerful framework for building AI-powered solutions that enhance productivity, efficiency, and scalability, right? OpenAI also released a new framework we haven't had a chance to play with. That's why we're not talking about it, called Swarm, that is trying to do the same thing as Relevance does, right? Relevance AI mass leverages multi-specialized agents that perform tasks autonomously, making decisions based on real-time data. So you don't need to be involved anymore. They will talk to each other. There will be a team of AI agents. They will be speaking to each other, and based off of that, they will make the next decision or the next logical step. This is effective for automating certain marketing workflows, such as segmenting customers for your email database, or real-time data processing, or creating personalized campaigns. So it really helps with tasks of that sort. If done properly, where we see the value creation here is just efficiency and speed and ROI improvements on a lot of your campaigns, and also effectiveness of your campaigns. So the other category that we want to talk about is AI assistant sales software. And these are like, there's a ton of them, as you can see, first of all. So these are technologies that are really allowing your sales team to get superpowers, right? So these are giving sales an incredible way of connecting with potential leads on a cold basis that really doesn't feel so cold if done well. It feels, yeah, I want to talk to you. You are solving a problem that I have, right? So what are some of the primary emerging characteristics of this software is they're very conversational in their nature. They have human-like conversations between the users that are using the platform, and as well as the employees that are trying to implement it, right? So there's a ton of them in the marketplace, and the one that we really like is Reggie AI, and it is an AI-driven platform designed to automate and enhance content creation. It's primarily aimed at sales and marketing teams. It helps streamline tasks like email writing, social media post generation, crafting personalized sales messages, freeing up time for teams to focus on high-level activities like closing deals. The way Reggie uses AI, it leverages it to create tailored content for sales outreach, copy, social media posts. It automates processes such as lead scoring, email personalization, optimization, engagement, and intent signals. It's, as we talked about, it's great for sales prospecting, marketing automation, demand generation as well too. And so this is Reggie AI. Definitely go check that out. Another one called Cognosys is different. So what this does is leverages different advanced AI models, and it helps you generate reports and provide actionable insights in real time. The platform it has a detailed report engine. It also can allow you to create emails based off of the report information and really start it takes based off of user input, you can create different workflows as well. So it helps with automating research, data analytics, and reporting, and so on and so forth. So as you can see, agentic AI systems are designed to resolve complex problems with little direct human supervision. These systems are composed of multiple agents that work together and orchestrate and have different utilities. So if you can take some of your tasks and really simplify them and break them down into simple steps, you can most likely build an agent for that can execute that. I'm sure as we're wrapping this up, I wanted to talk about how we can overall help you guys if you're interested in any of these, and feel free to schedule a call with us. We can provide guidance on some of the tools that we are using or we have implemented for our clients. We can give you different strategies. And remember the formula beak, it's hard for us to talk openly about it on just a webinar. It's very customized for every use case. So really need to ask you some specific questions of what you're trying to do, but based off of those, we can tell you if it warrants it, doesn't warrant it, and then we can, post implementation, we can continue to provide ongoing support. If you're ready to leverage it, feel free to reach out to us. We will post execution. We are consistently monitoring and improving performance. I want to give you an opportunity to be able to help us improve our webinar, and there in the chat box now there should be a survey for you guys to complete. I'm going to wait a second for you guys to complete that before we get to the questions and answers, but in do so of completing the survey, what we want to provide for you guys is a bunch of resources, right? So for everyone who completes the survey, you will get a copy of this recording that we did, a copy of the slide deck. So you will get both the recording and as well as the slide deck. And if that's not enough, we will also give you the blogs we've written around this topic as a whole that you can dig deeper if you're interested into it. And then some really great checklists and cheat sheets that you can use that can also help you think through some of these different tools. Please, all we ask you to just be open and candid. It helps us become better presenters for future Growth Lab webinar series. And this is really what we're more interested in. And with that, I want to open it up to questions and answers. We'll also share my LinkedIn profile so you can easily connect with me as well too. So everyone, thank you for coming today. I hope you have a great day. As promised, I kept you within their hour. And if you have any further questions that do come up, feel free always to reach out.